Welcome back to A Minute with Alan. This is an origin story, right? It's called Prudential. And that's because I began my work career after being graduated from Rutgers University at Prudential Insurance, namely its Eastern Home Office in Newark, New Jersey. This was 1968. And I knew nothing about nothing in terms of business. I had never taken a business course. I had 3 credits in economics because I had to take it in a liberal arts curriculum, and that was that. So I joined a hotshot program. The placement director got me in there. I had waited till May to try to find a job. You know, the Vietnam War was raging. And I finished number 7 in my class. So the placement director reamed me and said, this is really stupid. But he gets me into this hotshot program. And I show up at Prudential, and I'm assigned to a place called Group Administration, where they pay claims and they pay royalties and they pay commissions and everything else on group insurance policies. And the manager was a guy named Bob Shears, gray-haired man at the time, about 60, very distinguished looking, about 6'4". And Prudential had a more rigid hierarchy than the Catholic Church. You were a supervisor, an assistant manager, a manager, an associate general manager, a general manager, an assistant vice president, an executive vice president, and then a senior vice president. I mean, it was strictly hierarchical. They rang bells when you took a 15-minute break and an hour for lunch. I mean, very, very structured. So anyway, my first day there, Bob Sears decides, I'm the new guy on the block, a new kid on the block, and he's going to show me what's up. This is a 400-person division, group insurance, and you can see all 400. They're separated sort of by space, but there are no cubicles, there are no walls, there are no partitions. Everybody's out ahead of you. Supervisors in place, assistant managers in place, and Bob's a manager, 400 people. He puts his arm around my shoulders and he says, "Kid, here, take a look. 400 people." He said, about 5% of them are alcoholics. And probably 15% of them are addicts. And 3% are beating their spouses. And I don't know how many are leading alternate lifestyles, he says. But, everything I'm talking about probably leads up to 20% of the place. He pats me on the shoulder and he says, "Do good work." And he leaves. So now I'm looking around figuring which 3%, which 5%. That was his introduction to Prudential. And I've never forgotten it because essentially he was right. And I would like to think what he really meant was, no matter who people are, you've got to get along with them. You've got to make them part of the team. You've got to help them to the best of your ability. And you don't make judgments about people based on anything else unless it's criminal or unethical. And so that's my first day at Prudential. I stayed there for 4 years before I went into the consulting business. And that was 3.7 years too long. I'll see you next time.